Hi, I'm Tara, a BCBA, and this is Behavior Bits. I wanted to sort of talk about in schools, at least now that I'm at Modoc County Office of Education, what it's going to be like when I get called out for a behavior support, especially if I don't know the student or maybe haven't spent a lot of time in the classroom. There's a couple pieces that maybe aren't as intuitive for other people that don't work in the behavior field. Typically, behavior staff are going to want to observe first, especially if it's a student-specific request. So we're going to go in and take 30 minutes, an hour, however long seems necessary, and hopefully in those times or locations or during those activities in the school day where the problem behavior is happening or where support is needed to help the student access learning. During that observation, or maybe shortly after, the behaviorist might ask questions of staff to sort of get a feel for, is this a regular day, what kinds of other strategies have been tried, and maybe things that work or don't work, and any other kinds of just general questions that they might ask about sort of either what they're seeing in the current observation or things that they aren't seeing that might happen at other times in the day or that aren't being captured by this current observation. The reason this is happening is because we're trying to get a feel for that dance or that interplay between the student and their behavior and the environment in the classroom or wherever it is that the behavior support request stemmed from. Sometimes behaviorists sort of ask if they can probe a couple things, sort of see, okay, if I present something like this, how does the student respond? And sometimes these are things that are totally in line with the current plan or what staff are currently doing or expected to do. And sometimes those are things that are a little off. And again, the reason is to sort of figure out and tease out those aspects of the interplay with the environment. And maybe that why factor of why the student might be behaving the way that they are in the context of that environment. This is definitely not a time when we're modeling. This is a time when we're still sort of asking questions, but we're asking questions without verbally directly asking the question. We're sort of asking the question by being an added stimuli in the environment. From there, we usually work with the team then and talk about what we saw, talk about what we're hypothesizing as the reason behind the behavior, and then work on next steps, things that we might be able to do to best support the team and, again, get that student accessing learning. Usually we can only kind of speak to what we sort of saw in that observation. We might be able to infer or guess, or again, through that conversation we've had with you, ask about patterns, and then hopefully work with you to design an intervention if that's necessary, or whatever it is that this student might be needing to really support their engagement with the classroom, and again, that being able to really access the learning that you're hoping and that you're there to provide them. Thanks for listening. That's all I have for today.